Cap. A little late because we had a Big 12 championship game. So let's go ahead and do the Michigan. Okay. Let's see. BYU and Utah didn't play. Duke ineligible. Kansas State ineligible. US Lolly Gangs didn't play. Notre Dame. Okay. Really don't too much care about user and user. In the college issue. College is different. Um, we had user, Ohio State and Michigan. I didn't interview nobody this week. I'm waiting to the playoffs, giving everybody a chance to just kind of um, focus, basically. This score here was tight, 31-28. Taking a look at the turnovers, as we can clearly see, it was 0-2. Michigan protecting the ball played a huge role in this game, 315, 1 TD. Ohio State, Julian Sand, 389, 4 TDs, 2 interceptions. Neither side really ran the ball well. Ian Strong, 5 receptions, 116, 1 TD. And Ohio State, um, Jelani Thurman, 10 receptions, 90 yards. Jeremiah Smith didn't do too much in that game, but hey, you got the job done. Auburn and Alabama. Bama beat Auburn 28-14. And another reason why I don't go into um, marking people ineligible using users because I know they're pretty much going off of playoff implications. So it's no reason to do that. Um, During this time of the year, it's just about who's gonna win it all. That's basically what we're trying to do now. We're not even focusing on making anybody ineligible. Um, Ty Simpson, 177, 1 TD. Auburn, 200 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. They did run the ball well. So did Alabama. 2 guys over 100 yards rushing. They had a few guys. Well, neither side did much as far as in the passing game. So that's pretty good right there. Nebraska beat Maryland 41-14. Oregon lost to Iowa 9-14. Arizona State beat um, Arizona 56-35. User, we had TCU and Texas. Texas ran over this football team as far as TCU 38-7. Turnovers was 2-6. Anytime you turn the ball over that many times, you're putting yourself in a bad position. Um, it's just hard to win games like that. TCU did their thing in the passing game. So you can say the same thing about Texas as well. Defense played lights out, as I said before. They had 6 defensive players on the defense side of the ball to create a turnover. Florida and Florida State. Um, Florida won this game barely, 51-45. Turnovers was 0-1. DJ Lagway, 321 yards, 2 TDs. And then you got Devin Dampier, 536. I'm speaking a lot too fast. I was about to say neither side ran the ball well, but that would have been a big lie. AJ Turner absolutely went off. 18 carries, 203, 3 TDs. Receivers did pretty well. Florida State the same. I would say Florida State receivers had um, the better game, but sometimes it's not about who have the better players. It's about who can win. South Carolina and Clemson. Very, very surprised to see South Carolina lose this one to get to Clemson, 28-7. Turnovers was 1-0, so really not that big of a um, difference as far as turnovers go. Clemson 297, 2 TDs. South Carolina 224, 1 interception. Um, Clemson ran the ball a little bit better than South Carolina. Their wide receivers played great, but it really came down to the defense. You got Xavier Smith was able to create an interception. You got Ashton Hampton, cornerback, had 9 tackles. Strong safety had 8. So defense showed up for Clemson in this game. Very surprised because South Carolina got Nick Harbor, who's been playing very well. Oklahoma beat Missouri State 37-14. Penn State beat Wisconsin 49-0. SMU beat Wake Forest 31-10. UCLA beat Minnesota 49-10. Miami beat Oklahoma State 31-14. No. Miami lost to Oklahoma State 31-14. Then we had user Texas A&M and LSU. Wow. Texas A&M beat LSU. Very, very surprised. Turnover battle was 1-0. Um, wow. Okay. Quarterback play played very, very well. Eli Holstein, who was given the start back. He had lost his job to Brady Hart a little bit throughout the season, but I see Texas A&M decided to give him the show again. Avery Johnson, 353, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Um, LSU had some running game going. Ruben Owens also ran the ball well. They didn't have anybody in the passing game, but LSU definitely had some guys in the passing game. Maybe this thing came down to just that turnover that Texas A&M was able to create. Texas A&M is a old school style team. They play great defense and run the football very well. So I'm not sure if that style can still last in today's game, but hey, we will have to see, if they can get to the playoffs. Washington beat, which we'll go over the conference in a second, see who was the Heisman winner, because we have to reward those guys. We may have a guy. We'll see. We'll see before we jump the gun. But yeah, we got to see who won Heisman, best recruiting. We're gonna have to wait until a little bit before we name the best recruiter, and then the Natty will make that announcement as far as the pot once the playoffs start. So be looking out for that in the next video. Georgia beat Georgia Tech 62-19. Virginia Tech beat Virginia 42-17. Good stuff right there. And there's some guys that didn't play, but as I said before, we're not really. We were now just focusing on who's going to win a pot. That's my main focus now. We'll worry about ineligibles and making people back eligible and all that next season. Florida, Georgia, Virginia Tech, Penn State, Colorado are your top 5. Texas A&M, Florida State, Tulane, Alabama, Clemson, Texas, UCLA, Kansas State, Southern Miss. Wow, Southern Miss is in the top 25. South Carolina, East Carolina, Louisville, Washington, and Oklahoma. Taking a look at the college football playoff bracket, if it was to start today, you would have Tulane in Colorado, SMU, Ohio State, Houston, Michigan, Duke, Nebraska, Penn State, Florida, Virginia Tech, and Georgia. All right, let's take a look at them standings, man. Let's see what's shaping up right now. In the ACC right now, you got Virginia Tech and SMU, Florida State and Duke battling it out, but it looks like it's going to come down to these two teams right here for the ACC championship. But I mean, hey, if one of these teams lose, one of these teams could hop in there though. So you just never know how this thing is playing out. From my understanding, I'm still trying to understand the college football playoff situation. So if I'm not mistaken, if you win the conference, you're in, but I may be wrong. I'm still learning, sadly, and I'm a real life analyst and don't know. I know a little bit of it, but I don't really know everything. Tulane in East Carolina. Big 12 right now, you got Colorado and BYU. Houston, um, we already had this championship game played, but it looks like if I would have lost, Houston potentially could have jumped in. But again, I don't know what else they're going to go by. But we actually won that game. So Big Ten right now, you got Penn State, Nebraska, Ohio State, top 3 right now. It looks like Penn State and Nebraska would be in the conference championship. one of those teams lose, then hey, it's wide open. CUSA, you got Florida International, Liberty, Middle Tennessee. FBS Independence, you got Notre Dame. MAC, you got Miami University, Ball State. MWC, you got Boise State, Hawaii. Pac-12, you got Washington State. SEC right now, you got Florida, Georgia. Potentially, I guess this is the conference championship. We're going to take a look at that in a second. One of those teams lose, they're still, well, no. If Georgia loses, it opens up the door for Bama, Texas A&M, Texas, and South Carolina. If Georgia beat Florida, then it looks like Florida and Georgia still could potentially be in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. Sun Belt, you got UL Monroe and Southern Miss is in the top 25, man. I'm very, very surprised on that. So let's take a look and see the players of the week. We had Jaleel Hurley, 3 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, 1 interception, 1 pass breakup. Emeka uh, Megwa, 15 carries, 120 rushing yards, 8 on average, and 1 rushing TD. Taking a look at the Heisman winner, so we can go ahead and announce the winner. So I can see about the incentive. I think, okay, but it's still going to be announced, but he's ineligible. So it's um, Koopy, Jared Gibson. He's pretty much, pretty much in it. He's the Heisman winner. Then you had Ryan Wingo, DJ Lagway, Jeff Overton, and AJ Turner. Man, I hate that. That's my dog, Koopy, but he didn't. It was one of them computer games, I want to say, that he did not play. But I'm going to go ahead and still name him as the winner. This would have been his back-to-back win, being able to win that little incentive, that add up, man. I mean, that's free change for the incentive. Um, I just hate to see guys not take advantage of these donations that I'm giving. But that's just what it comes with. I understand people are busy. He was on vacation, if I'm not mistaken, so you can kind of understand that. The award watch list, Maxwell Award, you look like you have Jared Gibson. Walter Camp Award, you got Jared Gibson again. Bear Bryant Award goes to Deion Sanders, primetime Deion Sanders. Hell of a season, man. We definitely played great. We beat some users. We have a record 27-1, 27-1 career record, 2-0 record versus rivals. We 1-1 in the bowl, and then we're 7-1 versus top 25. So, I mean, hey, man, what more do we need to do? I know a lot of teams like to say we playing the computer, but I mean, if you look at this statistics, in the top 25, we're 7-1. So, hey, you know, um, you know, DJ Lagway is the Davey O'Brien Award winner. Following him was Julian Juju Lewis. Chuck, oh yeah, I was wrong on my prediction about him winning the Heisman. Chuck Bednarik Award went to Texas. Will linebackers, senior, Leona. Not going to pronounce that last name. That he also won the Bronco Trophy. The Jim Thorpe Award went to Malik Hartford, strong safety, senior. The Doak Walker Award went to Jared Gibson, seeing his name a lot. The Fred uh, Award went to Ryan Wingo Jr., so he'll have him back again. He also will have this guy back again, Colin Simmons. He had won the Lombardi Award. So, like he's gonna have a lot of these guys back next season. So if they don't enter the draft though. Devin Dampier, he was the United's Golden Arm Award. Wow. Where was Juju? I guess Juju wasn't in there. Edge Rusher of the Year went to Colin Simmons. The Outland Trophy went to Brady Small. John Mackey Award went to Trey Dez Green, junior tight end. Browse Award went to Robert Livingston, our defensive coordinator. Strategist, um, He's been playing okay defense. I don't know how he won that. But then we also had Chad Butters. I'm glad to know that because I don't want to fire anybody for no reason. But yeah, love that. I love that. Two of my head coaches, well, not my two of my coaches on the staff, up top two. The Dick Butkus Award went to Leona again, like he might be drafted high. Remington Trophy Award went to Nebraska center Brady Small. The Louis Groza Award went to Wade Scheffler, kicker from Rice. The Ray Guy Award went to Missouri State punter Stuart McDonald. The Jet Award went to running back Rayshawn Luke. Ray Jones was very, very close. We brought him over from the transfer portal. Wish I had him for one more year. The kid is very special. He runs a 4.340. Damn, I wanted him back. Sean Alexander Award went to running back Jeff Overton, who was top three, top five in the Heisman race. So that's always great right there. Taking a look at the recruiting, let's go ahead and see who won who potentially will have the best recruiting class. Look like Georgia will be repeating again. We paid him last season, and like we're going to be paying him again. Um, right now, he's leading with 10 5 stars, and honestly, it's nothing to wait on. That 10 5 star did it. I don't expect anybody else to pass that. So that would be one where I would be biased when it comes to the recruiting. I mean, you sign 10 5 stars, you automatically is the number one recruiter. So I'm gonna go ahead and name him. I don't expect anybody else to pass that. I know some people probably saying that's not what you judge everything by, but it's just like real life, man. Everything is about 5 stars, man. Max Preps. There's so many other outlets that I use when I'm giving um, my opinion of certain teams, in particular Colorado. When we have a little, when we have, like, for an example, 16 4 stars, yeah, that's good, but it really comes down to them 5 stars, man. This is what Max Preps and all of these um, recruiting sites, that's how they grade these teams. So Georgia's already, he's named the winner, and I'm going to put him on the list. He will be paid. Let me go ahead. That's for Georgia, best recruiter. And then conference championships. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Let me look at the schedule. All right, conference championships. As you guys can see, 2 games was already played. BYU and Colorado. Very, very good football game. We was able to win this game, 49-39, and turnover battle was 1-2. So us being able to protect the ball played a huge role. Um, Bryce Baker. It came down to um, that last minute interception by Bryce Baker. Um, Julian Juju Lewis played pretty well. 3 TDs, 307, no interceptions. He took 3 sacks, but overall he played great. We also ran the ball pretty good. That was our career high with Dallin Hayden, 133, 2 TDs. That's what we want to do. When we can run the football, he didn't run the ball well. But when we can pass, we can pass regardless. People wonder why I'm so good at passing. I played it in receiving in real life, so I can read coverages. Um, but when we can run the ball, see, I have to sometimes remind myself to not think as a receiver because when we can run the ball like this here, we can't be beat, because it's unstoppable then. We're a wrecking force. When I can run and I can play a little bit smash mouth and start getting guys to bring in the safety. I know sometimes people like to complain about users bringing in safeties, but that's real life. That's realistic. So if I'm running the ball 12.1 on average, you better bring some guys down in that box, So when you do that, that's when I hit you over the top, and that's what I was doing a lot of times in this game. He was looking for the run because we was running it down his throats, and then I was pump faking and going with Malachi Coleman, junior receiver. I hope he come back. The thing about being in Colorado offense is that um, you're going to get a lot of yards, you're going to get a lot of catches, and you're going to have a chance to leave early. And we're always loading every year, though. So that's my biggest fear is having guys come to our program, playing a few years and getting up out of there. But it's like real life. I mean, it's the same way. His receiver played great, Tiger, Batch, Meyer. Defense played great on his side. They didn't have any interceptions. We did. We had one. Um, well, no, we had two. Howie Bates, sophomore, and then junior Kevin Flanagan. So yeah, when you can run the football, man, and throw, oh my goodness, it's a problem then. Now we had Ohio State and Penn State. As we can clearly see, this was a very good game by Penn State. 44-14, completely ran over their opponent. Turnover battle was 4-2. Just the Julian Sand, 167, one TD, four interceptions. A lot of interceptions in that matchup. Penn State, two TDs, two interceptions. Um, ran the ball well, both sides. Well, nah. Jason Ball didn't run the ball well. They didn't get anything going. Passing game. Penn State definitely did. 8 receptions, 115 yards. He had a guy with two TDs. Defense played lights out. They created 4 interceptions, one by 4 different defenders. Ohio State had 2 interceptions, 2 different guys, junior and a senior. And that's what you want to see. That's definitely what you want to see. SMU and Virginia Tech. I know some of you probably wonder why we're going over it now. It's because I usually give you guys my predictions, but since the game's already played, we might as well just go ahead and discuss it. If it lets me click on it, all right. Why is it giving me Colorado? I know I just didn't select it. I'm selecting Ohio. Well, let me go. SMU, Virginia Tech. It won't let me click it. Okay, they playing now. Okay. I'm predicting Virginia Tech to win this game. I feel like they're going to get the job done. So I'm a vote for Virginia Tech to win. But we will see, man. SMU, that's Amfish. He's a good opponent. And then we have Florida and Georgia. Oh man, another dog fight. Oh man, this one here can definitely come down to playoff implications as well over there in that SEC. I know teams like Texas A&M and M and South Carolina, just to name a few teams, LSU are hoping that I'm gonna actually watch this game, but I know they're hoping Florida. I know they're hoping Georgia beat Florida because I feel like if Georgia beat Florida, it's going to open the door for those teams with one losses. I could be wrong though, but I mean I don't know what are they going by, but that's pretty much it, man. So we will announce the pot. I already know how much it would be, but you guys know we do this every season. We always announce it after the conference championships. I don't want guys to lose focus, and get a little jitters. The jitters come in during the playoffs. You don't need to be nervous in conference championships. I want you to be nervous when it's time to play a playoff game and knowing what's at stake. So we will see what happens after these games, and we'll start our interviews back when the playoffs kick off.